Hi everyone, Joe here, and a few months ago I published a review of this little really inexpensive manual lens. I was quite impressed with the results, so I started to look around for something similar but a bit sharper. This Olympus AutoS 50mm f1.8 was the one that struck me the most, and since I bought it, it has been my main lens for all of the videos you've seen on the channel. Let's take a look. So first off, the lens is of course not a Micro Four Thirds native lens, which means you'll also need an adapter, but I paid the whole lens plus adapter set just $60 on eBay, which is crazy cheap when you look at the quality. The lens was in excellent conditions given its age, not mint but totally usable with no major flaws. It's definitely heavy when compared to the 14 to 42 kit lens, and if you add the weight of the metallic adapter it does make a difference on the total weight of my G7. On the positive side, it feels solid and premium, with metal almost everywhere. The focusing ring is still nice and smooth, and it conveniently shows focusing distances in both meters and feet, sporting a handy hyperfocusing indicator as well. The aperture is clicked sadly, so you won't be able to seamlessly change it while recording, but on the other hand it does help to get a consistent look between shots. Speaking of the aperture, that Bocalicious f1.8 maximum aperture was admittedly why I was interested in the lens in the first place. It's quite a beast in low light, and if you pair the 50mm focal length with the wide aperture, you get a super shallow depth of field for beautiful blurred background. You do lose a tiny bit of sharpness at f1.8, so if it's an absolute must you may want to close it down to f2.8 or f4, but I've found no noticeable improvement beyond that. Something you may want to keep in mind is that if you use it on a crop sensor camera like my G7, those 15mm become 75 on an APS-C sensor or 100 on a Micro Four Thirds sensor. I personally love this mid-telephoto look, but if that's not what you're looking for, you may want to go for a shorter model. A couple of technical notes for the pixel peepers out there. While it does behave quite well in bright lighting conditions, it's not immune from flaring or fringing. However, you really have to shoot directly into a bright light source to see flares, and it handles chromatic aberration better than my kit lens. Besides being built for a full frame sensor, it behaves quite nicely at the edges even when paired to some extension tubes. Now before wrapping this video up, let's take a look at some footage. So this was in short my experience with the Olympus AutoS 50mm f1.8. In my opinion, if you're looking for a sharp, wide open lens and you don't mind focusing manually, you don't need to look further. Of course, if your camera lacks OIS or you really need that autofocus, this may be not for you, but for everyone else I can hardly see any downsides. So that will do for today. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more photography related videos in the future, and as always, thank you so much for watching. This was Joe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.